I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about how to cry, okay? How to release your feeling of sadness or emotional overwhelm inside of you. Now a lot of times we might grow up in households that don't allow us to cry, or we are a part of the culture that says that crying is bad, or it's seen as weak, or it's seen as something that we don't want others to see, right? It's something that shows that we are out of control. So we might have some prejudice against crying, first and foremost. Secondly, we might repress our sadness inside of us and suppress it so deep that it's difficult for us to actually bring up the sadness or bring up the tears, right? So the first thing I want to note is that sadness is just a signal, okay? It's just a signal. It's just an emotion. Don't make it this very, very big thing. Don't add a storyline to it. Don't add values to it. Don't plaster suggestions on it. Just experience it for just it being a signal from your body, okay? It's usually associated with a loss. Now, this is not the case for everybody, but I've noticed that this is a case for a lot of people. And it's also something meaningful to you. Alright, some people cry out of joy as well. So, understand first and foremost that if you want to cry, you want to be in a safe environment, a place where you're not going to feel judged. That's why a lot of people, they take time away, they go into the woods to cry, or they'll go to their therapist to cry, or they go to their friend's place to cry, or they'll get into a video call with a good friend who they can trust to cry and let out their emotions and talk about the issues that they're going through, right? So one thing is to notice your sadness cues. If you just notice yourself just caving in, it's like a feeling of caving in, right? It's like when you're just about to cry, you'll notice there are waves of sadness or depression throughout your body, right? It's just like a wave. It's like this undulation. A lot of people who are crying will tell you this, okay? And they'll agree with me. It's just this feeling of like, it's like goosebumps almost, right? So notice the sadness cues, notice the triggers, whether they're visual cues, whether they're sound cues, whether they're tactile cues, whatever they are. Understand your cues, and once you can understand the cues that make you sad, then you can understand how to make yourself cry, right? I've noticed for me personally, anything regarding like the passage of time, makes me very, very sad. Also, in regards to just a feeling of loss or like an unfulfilled life, like that's deep. Like that's really deep. That's sad for me, because I really want people to feel good, and when people are suffering, I do feel that emotion. Sometimes a lot of people might feel overwhelmed with their tears and too much crying, okay? That's a different video. So one is to notice the waves. It's pretty hard to relax when you demand something of yourself. And I think to really cry, maybe instead of making your goal crying, to reframe that goal as just feeling your feelings and being more connected to your body. I think that would be the first foundational step, is to really feel your feelings until they're felt and feel much more connected in your body. And I think that's a very worthwhile goal to have. Whether you should cry or not shouldn't be the measure of your success. Alright? So understand that it's just a biological function that's happening. And remove all the stereotypes again. Men can't cry, this can't happen, right? All that stuff, just put it to the side. And notice, what is my experience inside? What do I see in my imagination? What's my body telling me? What are my muscles telling me? We expect things going on in one way, and then they change all of a sudden. And that can be so devastating. That's a loss of a person or a loss of an expected outcome. I think everybody's afraid, like, if I cry, I'm going to fall apart. It's actually the opposite. We feel much more grounded when we're crying, because think about this. Crying releases oxytocin, which is the love and the trust hormone. So sometimes I will generate oxytocin with just tuning into the power of my heart and learning how to trust myself again. And also think about it, it's water, right? So it's nature. Right? So you're literally taking nature out of your own body. And again, the image of crying is like you've lost some semblance of control. So definitely, it's important to do it in a safe space, right? If you don't want someone to see, that's completely fine. It's completely valid for you to feel that way because of what culture has made crying out to be, right? So you can excuse yourself, go to the restroom, anywhere that you prefer. You have a safe environment and you have these sad cues in your mind that you can stack, and then it'll feel much more freeing. 3 songs that I highly recommend you listen to get yourself into that zone of just like letting go of your tears. One is 7 years old. Once I was 7 years old. That song. Oh man, Lucas Graham. Okay. Listen to that song. Don't listen to the music video because I don't know. I think the images sometimes help certain people. They don't really help me much. I like to go into my own storyline and attach it to that, which really helps to, again, you'll notice as you're listening to these songs, waves of undulation, of just like emotion wanting to express itself, okay? Listen to the whole song. Maybe even make eye contact with the mirror, right? Do some mirror work. That might work too. Secondly, Happier, Bastille. Another song. Third song, Stressed Out, 21 Pilots. Okay? Not necessarily saying that sad music is the way to go with this, but it definitely helps. I was in acting before, and one thing I used to do to fake cry is I just used to keep my eyes open for a really long time, until my eyes started to water. Before I had to do like a really sad scene or something, or tap into it like an emotion, really feel through that emotion. It's like, a lot of people can't really access that memory in a great vivid depth, and so once you can access a memory and be able to hold it like a Pokeball, right? And just hold it in your mind's eye and just feel it and just see what your body tends to do when you hold that image. You'll notice your body just releasing and wanting to let go of something. It might be a smile, laughter, yawn. Whatever release is happening, let it happen, right? Don't make the end outcome that I want to cry, I want to have tears in my eyes. However, if you do this accurately and if you follow through this process of noticing, if you stack in the different cues, like let's say you have something very fuzzy, right, that reminds you of childhood, okay? This is just an example, but like let's say you have something fuzzy, you like hold it, like tactile feeling, right? It's a tactile feeling, so that might be one of your cues. The song playing. The visual image, maybe pictures of your family, okay? Whatever it is, this is going to really help to engage your sensory experience of this, okay? And then eventually you'll start to notice when you start to stack these, and when you keep yourself in a safe environment, and when you truly give yourself like almost like a ritual, right? It's like when you're summoning something, right? Let's say how channelers are like when you're doing a ritual, like you're channeling something, right? In this case, you're channeling sadness. You're channeling tears to come out, right? So you got to understand what feeds your emotions, what feeds your sadness, And I would make a list of all the things that really make you sad and explore those things. And and have it be like a cocktail of all of those at once, so that you can instantly trigger that feeling of letting the tears out. And also being extremely present with yourself during this time, right? Don't rush the process. Don't try to like speed tear it out like it's some kind of competition. But being able to release any of the tension that's there in your body is going to help as well. So maybe trying this whole process out after, like, stretching, or after, getting into a shower or something like that, which automatically will relax you a lot more, right? Or right before sleeping might be a great time to actually let go of those tears, so you feel better to actually rest afterwards and get that aftercare, right? Or meditate afterwards or something like that. So I hope this video helped you out today. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. See you later.